What is the greatest comeback to an insult you've ever heard? Part 2. An older guy I used to work with was overweight. Had big old belly that hung out past his belt. This skinny punk always made fun of him. Even touched his belly and would say comments like, "When are you expecting?" etc. Finally he had enough one day. The skinny guy said, "Damn, your belly is so big." The old guy replied, "It's because your wife likes sucking dick in the shade." Between two ferns with Obama. Zach, it must kinda stink that you can't run 3 times. Obama, no, actually I think it's a good idea. If I ran a 3rd time would be kinda like doing a 3rd Hangover movie. Didn't really work out very well. Didn't it? In middle school a boy asked when I was going to grow some boobs. So I asked him when he was donating his. I'm still really proud of that one. Edit, I didn't expect this to blow up. But I remember this clearly. He was walking out of English, I was walking in. We met at the doorway and were chest to chest. And he looks me in the eye and says, "Grow some tits?" Without missing a beat I reply dead-faced, "Donate yours." Then proceed to proudly walk to my desk with a big smile. Also I did eventually grow some boobs. They are small but they are nice. Woman I work with, but don't like. Was in a mood one morning. Male colleague comes in. After putting up with her for a bit. Looks at her and says, "Are you on your period or something?" She turns around and stony-eyed says, "I woke up in a pool of blood and if you don't shut the fuck up, you'll end your day the exact same way." Never respected her until then. Who put 50p in the dickhead? You're talking a lot of shit for a dude in cum shot distance. I used to work with this like 70-year-old woman. She was our supervisor. And one day one of the ladies who worked with us told this old lady to kiss my ass and the old lady replied, "Where do I start? You're so fat your crack goes all the way up your back." Okay. I don't often outright brag on Reddit. But I'm pretty proud of this one, pride, that'll be funnier in a sec. I promise. A lady in one of those motorized carts was parked across the entire aisle at Wally World. After standing there watching her do basically nothing at all for 30 seconds. I got annoyed and squeezed past. She finally shows the first signs of consciousness I'd seen so far. And calls out, "Academy, patience is a virtue." To which without skipping a beat I responded, "And sloth is a vice." For the record. She clearly wasn't actually handicapped. She was just. What's the next step above morbidly obese but not quite bedridden yet? Not that I've heard. But one that I've done myself. My sister said the classic phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." What did my literal autistic ass do? I grabbed a dictionary and threw it at her. There are approximately 1.010.300 words in the English language. But I could never string enough words together to properly express how much I want to hit you with a chair. Alexander Hamilton to Thomas Jefferson. Edit, apparently. This didn't actually happen. Come on. Stop telling me how to live my life. I don't tell you how to live your life. It's not like I come down to the docks at night, knocking the sailors' cocks out of your mouth. I was in Target. 2 kids and their mom walked past. One kid was singing. The other kid said those aren't even the right words. The singing kid responded without missing a beat, "Yeah, well, this is the remix." What are you looking at? I'm still trying to find out. Definitely a great comeback. But not to an insult. More to an annoyance. I was a camp counselor for a few years at a summer camp. One day my group took a hike to a large rock where we had lunch. My campers were between 8 and 10 years old. This one kid we'll call Jeff keeps poking another kid we'll call Matt in my group to look at this hole in the rock. It's so cool. It's like 6 inches deep and the other kid is clearly getting annoyed just trying to eat his lunch. He keeps shoving sticks into the hole and trying to get everybody to look at it. Finally Matt just puts down his sandwich, looks at Jeff, and goes, "I'll be 6 inches deep in your mom later if you don't shut up." I was trying so hard to be stern with this kid for saying something so inappropriate, but I kept cracking up. It was just such a disproportionately ridiculous thing to say coming from a 9-year-old. In Aliens there's a big bully soldier asking a lesbian soldier if she has ever mistakenly been taken for a man. As a response she says, no, have you? A dude in my class called out a semi-friend of mine that people are talking behind his back. In fact, that wasn't the case, as far as I know. And that guy said, well, you know what they say about you? Nothing. Nobody fucking cares. You know that biceps come in men's sizes, right? Oh, I think you come in enough men as it is. Said this to my mom. I was on the toilet about 5 minutes before we left for a doctor's appointment. I really had to poop. She called my name and said, where are you? I told her where I was. Well, get your ass busy and come on. I replied. Where do you think the poop comes from? I was the one insulted, but not the one with the comeback. I was out with a coworker and her friends, and my buddy and I were leaving a little too early for her sensibilities. She jokingly got up in my face and said, smell that? Smells like pussy. A guy playing at the pool table next to us stepped forward and said, I'm sorry. That must be me. I just ate. It was amazing. An Arab poet met a guy on the streets. Trying to belittle the poet, the guy said, I saw you from afar, I thought you were a woman. The poet responded, I saw you from afar and thought you were a man. This happened about 5 years ago now. There was this one annoying kid in my math class in high school. Being loud. Ignoring the teacher. He was mixed race. Only bringing this up because it's related. He's talking rather loudly with a guy next to him. Teacher tells him, shut the hell up. Kid makes a point that he's half black and being mean to him is racist, some stupid shit like that. Teacher looks him dead in the eyes and says, I was talking to your white half. Stupid. Hence asterisk down my favorite teacher. I have a twin brother. I'm older. He once told me when I came out. They knew it was a mistake and immediately tried again. I told him he was the buy one get one of equal or lesser value free. There was a fight after that one. So there was 2 girls fighting and one of them looks at my sister who was minding her own busyness and says, you go to hell too. My sister, do you want me to say anything to your mom? Many years ago. When we were about 18. A friend of mine was arguing with another person we knew. This person was trying to be a badass and intimidate my buddy. He says, my feet are registered. Without missing a beat my friend replies, where? Health and sanitation. 40 years later I still crack up at this when it comes to mind. Son, Dad, you don't know how to make a joke. Dad, I made you. Chelsea Handler told Russell Brand, the way you are looking at me makes me wants to cover my vagina. He replied, ma'am, if I had a rubber glove, I'd do it for you. Crowd burst into laughter and she even acknowledged that was good. I knew a girl in high school who was adopted. She was pretty chill and open about it for the most part. One day in math class, another student cracked a joke about her being adopted and without a moment's hesitation she shot back, well, at least my parents wanted me. It was the best comeback I've ever heard. My grandma got into a fight at the grocery store with a guy who told my 9-year-old brother to move the fuck out of the way. They were going at it and his final words were, suck my dick. Bitch. She said across the store if I could find it. Bitch. Edit, not Walmart. Even better, Aldi. I work at a hotel. A few years ago this guest got into a spat with our security officer over something. But she wasn't getting whatever she wanted, so she told him he was full of S ____. Our security officer replied immediately, no, I'm not. I took care of that this morning. But thank you for your concern for my good health and regularity. At this time I was about to bust up laughing, so I had to excuse myself to the back office. And as I was leaving I heard him continuing on with this lady. Deadpan. But I promise I eat a healthy diet full of fiber. It warms my heart to know you're concerned with me having regular bowel movements. So the next time I'm constipated I know you're thinking of me. It continued on and on. And all the more he's playing this deadpan and it's making the lady madder and madder. And I'm in the back laughing so hard I'm nearly crying. After that spiel was over though, she didn't give us any more problems the rest of the night. I cracked a joke on my 11-year-old nephew. His response was, "I'd roast you, but my mom taught me not to burn trash." Left me completely speechless, and I didn't have a comeback for that. LOL. Kudos to the lil man. Gandhi after a reporter asked him a question. Reporter: what do you think of Western civilization? Gandhi: I think it would be a good idea. Your dick is of the size of Tic Tac. No wonder why your mom has good breath every day. I was bullshitting with a couple of buddies, and may have suggested that I banged one of their moms. To which said friend replied, "My mom's dead." My mouth bypassed my brain and replied, "That explains the dirt." Overheard some little kids bickering on the train. Little boy, maybe 6 or 7, says to younger girl, maybe 4, "You can't even read." She says, "Oh yeah? Well, at least I don't eat my boogers." During WW1, Switzerland had a tiny standing army, but they were very skilled marksmen. Wilhelm II of Germany asked what 250k Swiss troops would do if he decided to invade with 500k German troops. The Swiss said, "Shoot twice and go home." Overheard by me. The school bus driver. One 5th grade student was belittling a 1st grader. When it was time for a comeback, 1st grader shouts out, "Congratulations." The bewildered 5th grader had nothing to say and went to sit down with her friends in the back of the bus. Is it cheating to use one of my own? I work in construction, and a lot of the guys are exactly what you would expect from construction workers. There was one particularly loud one on this job. He would always go on about drinking and how much he drinks and the ensuing consequences. He went so far as to say he's never sold a car, he wrecks them. Usually while drunk driving. I just recently purchased a house and another guy was asking me about it. The loud guy heard this and said, "What the fuck? I'm a journeyman and all I can afford is a basement suite in Langford, which is far away and considered sub-optional. You're just an apprentice. How can you afford a house?" And I just said, "I don't have any drinking stories." Thanks for watching.